Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Kevin Hincks, Senior Equity Strategist over at TD Ameritrade with our daily Nasdaq-100 review. Kevin, it's great to have you with me. And clearly, the markets are seeing a lot of optimism in Tuesday's trade.
Interesting. The different sectors that are up today with strong news. Obviously, this market, Jill, really reacts positively to any news about coronavirus and vaccines and anything that shows progress in that way. And they gave us a pretty good dose of progress over the weekend with Merck getting involved. So there's some really good news. The market seems to really like it. Although, Jill, do you notice that the other indices, not the Nasdaq-100, but the other industries are really taking the lead today, where the Nasdaq-100 has been the leader throughout this move, clearly.
Yeah, well, we have seen the outperformance, and part of that is that we don't have the financial exposure in the Nasdaq-100,
Right.
and I believe we only have a company or two that has energy exposure. So it does make sense to see some of the other major averages paying a little bit of catch up. We've
Right.
seen the move that energy's done over the past month, but if we take a look at our chart of the Nasdaq-100, of all the indices, we clearly see that V shape here due to work from home, technology, and what I guess our new normal might look like.
And Jill, all you have to do is look at the makeup of what makes up the Nasdaq-100, and it is clearly, we say this all the time on the TD Ameritrade Network, this economy is moving towards some companies and away from others. And clearly the Nasdaq is chock full of stocks and companies that this new economy is moving towards, not just the FANG stocks, but Microsoft and Tesla as well, and all the chip stocks. So everything that you could seem to imagine that is needed in this new economy is made up in the NASDAQ. That being said, at some point, traders will start to rotate into some of these firms, because you know that the airlines were incredibly beat up, almost left for dead, and so were some of the banks, down to extremely low levels. So a little bit of a recovery there that would show up in the Russell 2000. Indicative of some strength in regional and regular financials. So not really shocking, because the NASDAQ has led us all the way to these levels.
Well, Kevin, let's get your longer term outlook here, because now that we have come out of earnings season, we always have this 5-6 week vacuum where the market moves predicated purely on macro. So of course, we're going to hear about US China. We're going to hear about COVID-19. We're going to get politics in there. Of course, we're starting to see that already with economies looking to open up. We haven't even really discussed what if we do get a second wave? What if we do go back to stay at home? What if there are restrictions placed on again? And there's still there's tens of millions of Americans are unemployed. Do you think the market is disconnected from the actual economic picture here?
Well, Jill, there certainly has been. The market has recovered quickly than the economy. So now something has to happen in the next 3 to 6 months. Either the economy, the health of the U.S. economy has to start to snap back towards where the market is, or something will happen to the market, right? And the market will give up some of its gains. There's so much to digest here with what's happening. I mean, remember the stay at home, which caused, you can make the percentages 80 to 90% of these layoffs to happen, is what was really there just to make sure that the hospitals weren't overrun. Well, now I think we're through that chasm in the economy. Now you're starting to see, I think the euphoria that you're seeing today in the markets is from the news reports over the weekend of people getting out and cities and towns starting to reopen. So I think now we have a financial trading market and we have an economy, and they have to start to converge, because there's been some clear divergence in the trading markets and the overall economy as we sit. So yeah, there's got to be some movement back to convergence between the economy and the trading markets, for sure.
All right, Kevin, thanks so much for joining us as always.
Always great. Good to see you, Jill.
Same here, and thanks for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.